a fluffy texture that melts in your mouth, a very intense flavor, and gluten-free. Hello, I'm Robert and today we're making a super cool gluten-free brownie recipe, slightly adapted from a recipe in Sola El-Waili's cookbook, which I highly recommend. This recipe will yield a cake in a 20 by 20 centimeter pan. We start with a pot where we'll add 70 grams of cocoa powder, then 33 grams of coffee. I'm using espresso here, but you can also use filtered coffee, and gently add 280 grams of milk, aiming to create a thick paste. We will add the milk gradually and whisk to avoid lumps. The goal here is to form a thick paste, which will dilute gradually with the milk to avoid cocoa lumps. Once the milk is fully incorporated, add 130 grams of butter. After that, switch from the whisk to a spatula and place the mixture on medium-low heat until it starts to simmer. The idea here is to stir continuously with a silicone spatula, scraping the bottom of the pot as it tends to stick quickly. Once the cocoa and the milk mixture boils, set it aside, cover it, and let it rest while we prepare the rest of the ingredients. Now let's move to the dry ingredients. I'm using a stand mixer bowl, though I didn't test in a regular bowl, but I'm sure you can also do it by hand with a whisk or a hand mixer. In the bowl, combine 240 grams of powdered sugar and 125 grams of glutinous rice flour. I'm using this one. It looks like this and that's what I found online. Be careful, because there's also regular rice flour and glutinous rice flour, which doesn't mean it contains gluten. It's just the texture and type of rice used to make it. If it doesn't say glutinous, it means it's not glutinous and not suitable for this recipe. If you visit health food stores, you might find rice flour that doesn't say it's glutinous. Avoid that one. You can search for this type or any other type of flour that says it's glutinous. Also, add a pinch of salt and whisk it a little. Next, add 165 grams of egg, which is about 3 large eggs, and the vanilla extract. Mix at a lower speed at first because the flour will fly everywhere. Once all the flour and powdered sugar are moistened, increase the speed to the maximum and mix for about 2 minutes. Once the mixture has been whisked for 2 minutes, add the hot cocoa and milk mixture to the bowl while the mixer is on low speed. Then increase the speed to high and mix for about 2 or 3 minutes. Pour the batter into a 20 by 20 centimeter baking pan lined with parchment paper on 2 sides and the bottom as shown here. The parchment on the side will act as handles, making it easier to remove the cake after it's baked. Bake at 175 Celsius, no fan, for 35 minutes in my oven. Check your oven, as it may take up to 40 minutes depending on the model. This is how our cake turned out. You can slice it smaller or larger depending on your preference, and if you like, you can dust it with some cocoa powder on top. For more recipes like this, don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and join me on Instagram for plenty of useful tips.